This video is to explain modified quarantine for students and families of Castro Valley Unified School District. Modified quarantine will apply when a specific set of conditions have been met regarding your student and COVID exposure. It starts with your unvaccinated student coming within 6 feet of a COVID positive individual while both your student and the COVID positive individual were wearing masks. And this contact within 6 feet lasted a grand total of at least 15 minutes within a 24-hour period. Finally, all of this must have occurred at school in order for modified quarantine to apply. Modified quarantine lasts 10 days from the last time your student came into close contact with the COVID positive person. While your student is on modified quarantine, they should be limiting their interaction with others. They should only be leaving the house to attend school and to complete COVID testing. All other activities, including sports, clubs, tutoring, childcare, after-school programs, and all socializing, should be avoided until the student's modified quarantine is over. With modified quarantine comes the added precaution of mandatory COVID testing. Because these are students who we know have come into close contact with a COVID positive individual, the Department of Public Health will only allow us to continue having those students on campus if the students are getting tested for COVID according to the parameters that the Department of Public Health has established. That means getting your student tested immediately as soon as possible, the day you are notified of their exposure, getting them tested again at least 3 days later, and getting them tested at least twice a week during the modified quarantine period. Parents will receive an email from their student's school sharing the specific dates that the student was exposed and the required testing dates. Please review that email carefully. Your responsibilities begin with keeping the affected student home except for school and COVID testing. We ask that you monitor the student very closely for symptoms and keep them home if any symptoms arise. Please complete the required testing that will be stated in the notification from your student school. And finally, we ask that you share your student's test results with your student school as soon as they are received. All of the limitations and requirements for a student in modified quarantine only apply to that student. Other individuals in the household, including other Castro Valley students, are not required to get tested or to limit their activities. However, we urge families and households of any student in modified quarantine to be extra vigilant for symptoms within your household and to conduct daily health checks thoroughly. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video and for your partnership in efforts to keep our students, staff, community healthy and safe.